Welcome to a brand new adventure of Wout of the World. You already saw us in Africa before, in Tanzania, but now we are in South Africa for a new adventure with this guy over here. A 4x4 camper with 2 rooftop tents for a road trip in southern Africa. And we start on the South African Westkust. But first let's rewind a bit. We arrived in Africa on the beautiful island of Zanzibar. We exchanged the white beaches for the most beautiful safaris on the mainland of Tanzania. We even visited Rwanda. And from there we flew to Cape Town. Good morning guys, we are finally here. This is Cape Town, South Africa. And you saw us traveling for 2 days where we started in Tanzania, had a stopover in Rwanda with an overnight stay, another stopover in Zimbabwe, and now Cape Town. So behind me the hotel where we slept, we could literally crawl towards this hotel because it's just 400 meters from the airport, just outside the landing strip. And we're gonna start the adventure by picking up our camper van with a rooftop sleeper, a 4x4 that's gonna take us through South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Zambia and Zimbabwe to deliver the van in Johannesburg again in South Africa. But first, something really special. Because I told you Suze is pregnant, we're gonna pick up the camper van, drive to the doctor's office and gonna see the first sonogram of the baby. So that's really special for us. A 4th member of Wout of the World. That's what we're gonna do first. Let's go. From the hotel we walk to the rental company called Brits. And at their office we prepare for an incredible journey through 5 countries. So while Suze is doing all the boring stuff inside, filling out the paperwork, and we're gonna get some authority letters to cross the borders and stuff, all boring. But I'm checking out outside our vehicle. This is the Toyota Hilux with 2 rooftop tents, a 4x4 that's gonna take us on the adventure. So they're gonna give us an explanation of the tents and the vehicle and then we're on the road. We quickly pick up our stuff and are on our way to Cape Town. Look, that's the Table Mountain. New life, and how awesome to see her for the first time so far from home. Yes, it's a baby girl by the way. We can't wait to go camping again. And with the Hilux 4x4 and those 2 super handy rooftop tents, I think this will work. Ah, the great outdoors. From above you can really see the amazing location in the countryside just north of Cape Town. Hey, we already spot the first safari animals. We're on our way guys, the big road trip. Not through South Africa this time, but we start in Cape Town and we deliver the van in Johannesburg, driving through the countries just north of South Africa. And the first part of our route will be the Cape Namibia route, which goes from Cape Town to Namibia. And we can see the Table Mountain from here. Our first stop is a campsite just outside of Cape Town. But we're not going to visit Cape Town this time because 6 years ago I was here with Suus and we visited Cape Peninsula, the Table Mountain and Cape Town, which went a little bit like this.
We saw whales and discovered the penguins on Boulders Beach on our route to the Cape of Good Hope. And of course, we also climbed the Table Mountain.
After 2 days we leave the beautiful campsite that we stayed at just near Cape Town. It's called Zonnekus. And we're gonna continue our Cape Namibia route, as I told you before, to the north. And the first stop is gonna be the West Coast National Park with some beautiful blue lagoons, which I wanna see with my drone, and a lot of animals over there, guys. African safari is gonna start. 88 kilometers from Cape Town, that's where we are right now in the West Coast National Park, what they call it here in South Africa. This is the landscape. You can see some birds here breathing, we can find some wild animals, and all the way over there in the back you can see the ocean, where the Langaban Lagoon is the most beautiful blue water that I've seen here. So yeah, we're gonna head into nature, see what we can find on the way. Don't know if we're gonna see some animals, but I hope so.
This 362 square kilometer park has many different landscapes, plants and animals. The wetlands are a paradise, especially for bird watchers.
We just made a stop at Abraham's Kraal bird hide, from where we like to see some birds or other animals. And it's there in the distance, and I already saw that there are some ostriches. The first wildlife is spotted, guys.
In addition to the beautiful views, we also spot this black bustard. Some squirrels with giant nuts. Red mongooses. And springboks. And then we arrive at the bizarre Langaban Lagoon.
The animals seem to be well hidden today, guys, unfortunately, in this lush green landscape. But we saw some wildflowers, we saw the ostriches, some other animals too, and this beautiful lagoon, because the natural sights here are phenomenal. This is the Langaban Lagoon, which you can see from everywhere in the national park, and it's bright blue shimmering water. So yeah, a true natural wonder, guys.
You will not soon forget a ride along this lagoon. We are all alone and this seems like another planet. So let's try and find some more animals. First up is this black-shouldered kite. And over there we find zebras. We exit the park at the sea, and over there we find some Cape fur seals.
When you exit the West Coast National Park, you end up in the little village called Langebaan. And there's a beautiful beach over here with a lot of wind, so you see some kite surfers and windsurfers everywhere. And yeah, we make a final stop here and then we move on to the next spot because we're going to continue on the Cape Namibia route.
And that route is full of surprises. South Africa is incredibly beautiful. Between the vineyards and the vast mountain landscapes we find our next destination, here on the riverside.
What a lovely day of road tripping, guys. After the national park we also had some lovely views of the countryside. We saw mountains, we saw stretched out landscapes, rivers and valleys, and now we ended up in a town called Vredendal. It's a Dutch name, just like the campsite. It's named Rondebosch, the round mountain, and we're staying next to the river called Olifantsrivier, the Elephant's River. It's all in Dutch, so it's easy for me. Afrikaans is what they call it, but it's actually Dutch in South Africa. We're on our way to the most remote safari park in the world. It's called Kgadagali, but it's another 10 hours drive away from here on the three borders of South Africa, Namibia and Botswana. They also call it the Transfrontier Park in the middle of the desert. So we're heading over there, but first we're gonna do some chilling here on the campsite. Camping Rondebosch. Chilling.
Halfway through our route from Cape Town to the Kalahari Desert, this is the perfect place to set up camp. You have nothing and yet you have everything.
Guys, it's just 6 o'clock in the morning. The sun is just coming over the mountains here. Sus is making coffee because without that we would die, probably. We got a long drive ahead of us, so we get up early. Let's go.
Including today, we have already driven about 1,000 kilometers through South Africa. And what is striking is that it's almost completely uninhabited.
I must say, guys, the route to where we're going is not that bad. Between the mountains, Jens had to pee, so he peed at this amazing view. Why not?
What a road trip, huh? Suus?
Oh my god, how awesome is this, guys? I'm a bit of a Star Wars nerd, as some people might know. And along this road they have the stormtrooper heads on these spears everywhere. Awesome. Wow guys, I drove for 6 hours straight while Suus was doing a nap, Jens was playing in the back, and we're now at Uppington, a town near the safari park where we're going, and I'm very hungry, so we're visiting this old friend of mine over here. And what can I say about the roads? 6 hours, no villages, not a single soul inside through the desert, so yeah, gets you pretty hungry. We're here, guys. This is the promised land. After Uppington we had to drive for another 2.5 hours, but this here is Kgadagali Transfrontier Park. It's the most beautiful park in the west of South Africa, and it's near the border of Namibia and Botswana, and it's on the edge of the Kalahari Desert, which I know from all the documentaries on TV. So the next 3 days we're staying inside the park and doing some nice safaris, and there's a campsite as well, so I'm in heaven.
Watch our most beautiful safari ever in the next episode as we drive through the Kalahari Desert. Subscribe and don't miss anything.